Hey, so I'm gonna be talking about the Osmosis streaming driver. This is an extension for the Osmosis driver interface, just like the AWS, the Azure. But here we are focusing on showing that it's possible to expand Breezo beyond static data. And why is that? Not all data is static. So we can think about a lot of fields where being able to download, access live data is important. So for example, the finance market, a lot of exchanges, they have WebSocket APIs that you could just connect and start downloading. And actually, you have an entire alternative to the Ocean protocol, the streamer network, that is all based on downloading live streams. And how is this driver able to do that? So what happens is it ships with a proxy server that, and actually this proxy server goes inside the Breezo container. I basically piggyback on that. I extended the container and I expose another port. Maybe in the future it doesn't need to be like that, but that's how I did it right now. And this proxy server, it actually, let me just show an example here. So this proxy server, in essence, is going to receive WebSocket's stream URL here, start like WSS, and it's going to generate a signed URL in the format. So you're going to have host, which is the host name. By default, is just the IP of the Ethernet interface of the machine, but you could override with your own host name. You have a port, by default it's a 3580, and then you have the route proxy and a token that will expire sometime. The expiration is configurable. Right now, is you're only able to set that in the Docker file when we're building the extended Breezo container. We're not able to pass that when we are requesting the asset at the moment. By default, I set it to 2. Right. And initially, all I wanted to do is just to extend just a regular extension of the Osmosis driver interface. Due to some technical issues, I wasn't able to do that, so I forked it, at least for now, and I patch, and with this custom driver interface, I built this new driver interface, my driver. I extend the Breezo container. Actually, I can show here. It's actually easier. I have the Docker file here. Okay, here. So, okay, as you can see, it extends the standard Breezo container. It has some configuration for the proxy server. It builds custom package, the driver interface, the streaming driver, expose another port. It ships this repository ships with a script to automatically build this and patch the container that is available on Barge. So if you have Barge and you patch it, all you need to do is start Barge. So actually here I already started with the Spree network, and we just need to wait for it to be started, for the container, for the contracts to be available, Breezo service and everything to be up, and we can start using. Let me actually show here how this would work in practice. So this repo also includes integration tests that I basically just copied from the Squid.js. It's based on the Squid.js. So if you go to Squid.js, you're gonna see this integration test. So here right? Consuming streaming asset Breezo. So this is based on the consuming asset Breezo from Squid.js, right? It basically will do the same thing. It will register an asset, will show that it can order, it can consume. All it changes is the metadata that we are using. So if I go here and show you the metadata, you're gonna notice a different URL. So this URL here is from the Binance API. So you could be using any WebSocket API for which you have access, public or private. I'm using this one because it's public, so we can easily like run and test it, right? If you go to the Binance repository, you can actually find more information about their WebSocket API. Right. So let me run. Before running, make sure that you copy the contract. So it also ships with this keeper script to wait for contracts to be generated and copy them over. Again, this is from Squid.js. And one thing to keep in mind, as I said, you need to set an expiration time for the token. Consuming the asset, it just means that you're going to be downloading the asset as long as that token is valid. Here's 2 minutes, it could be longer. Maybe it's really not what you want. You could also be, if you have access to the URL, actually, let me open, I'm connected here with the, yes. So actually, I had one example here. So I'm connected here to the Breezo container. So I have a Python. I imported Breezo util, right? So you're just going to you can import Breezo util. When you call its get download URL, basically what it does, it calls the Osmosis driver interface and passes that whatever URL you're trying to request. Since we're passing WSS, a WebSocket URL, it's going to forward it to the streaming plugin. And the URL that you get back, it's signed URL, right? So you have your host, which is the IP of the container here. You have a port, you have the route proxy, you have a token that will expire sometime soon. And if I basically take this here, I could end here. I don't know if I have curl here. I don't have curl inside the container. Curl minus V. Okay. I just passed the proxy, and yeah, it starts downloading the string. I could forward this to a file. I could stop and restart. As long as the token is valid, it will allow you to proxy that, right? Let's take a look to see if the test has finished. So the test passed. The test, once it's done, what it does is it forwards all this data to a directory. Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't even change the directory here in this case. So tmp ocean Squid.js. If we go here, we should see a data file, right? Yeah. So yeah, the data is here. And that's basically what I had to show about the streaming driver.